today we're diving into an exciting discussion about teamwork, about leadership, and building high-performing organizations.
So in business, oftentimes, you'll have a business owner who gets into a car, and as they're driving towards their business, are going through all of the thoughts that are awaiting them.
Listeners, are you working in your business or on it? Jeff's insights highlight the importance of strategic planning and effective communication.
There's also another scenario where you have entrepreneurs who work incredibly hard and they grow the business, but then it backslides. They grow and backslides. And they continue that until the growth continually decreases until it flatlines.
Listeners, the wisdom shared today by Jeff is a gold mine for any entrepreneur looking to scale their business. Please remember that maximizing business value isn't just about increasing profits, it's about creating a sustainable, well-structured organization that can thrive in the long term. Hi everyone, and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host Maheen, and today we're diving into an exciting discussion about teamwork, about leadership, and building high-performing organizations. Because it's incredible to think about the impact small businesses have on our economy. In fact, they employ a whopping 63.8% of the Canadian workforce. That's 10.3 million people. So it really highlights why effective leadership and teamwork in small businesses are so crucial. Let's explore how we can make a real difference in these organizations and by extension, our entire economy. Today we have an exceptional guest who is transforming the way businesses operate and thrive. We have Jeff Kropman, a teamwork expert whose journey from sports to business has led him to develop the innovative I4C success model. Jeff is a co-founder of Working as One Inc., a groundbreaking initiative dedicated to fostering collaboration and driving success in businesses worldwide. Tune in to hear how he is helping entrepreneurs become exceptional business leaders, driving productivity, cultural unity, and sustainable growth. So without a further ado, let's welcome our guest, Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much. And thanks for inviting me to this podcast.
We're very excited to dive deep into everything that we've touch based on in my intro. But let's kind of begin our discussion by understanding the control destiny, which is the aligned strategy, the business plan, the teamwork, and productivity. Because in the fast-paced world of entrepreneurship, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day operations, but taking a step back to work on your business rather than just in it is essential. And this strategic perspective is crucial for the long-term success, especially considering that small businesses, they contribute significantly to the Canadian GDP. Jeff, can you explain what working on the business looks like and why it's crucial for long-term success?
Yeah, long-term success of a business is really putting some structure into place. So once you put that structure into place, you can grow. The working in the business is like playing a game. Once you start to play the game, you may have a game plan, but once you step on the field, it's chaos. You have to adapt and get adjusted. And that's not a good time to plan. It's not a time where you can say to the referee, hey, stop. I need to think this through so I know what my next step is going to be. So the best time to do that is outside of the playing field, taking some time to reflect. So in business, oftentimes, you'll have a business owner who gets into a car, and as they're driving towards their business, are going through all of the thoughts that are awaiting them. So, I'm going to have problems with Jeff, my cash flow, this, and all these things. And they get there, and the closer that they get to the business, they start to get some anxiety because they know what awaits. And these typically are problems that are reoccurring problems. There's also another scenario where you have entrepreneurs who work incredibly hard and they grow the business, but then it backslides. They grow and backslides. And they continue that until the growth continually decreases until it flatlines.
Right.
And that's putting a lot of energy into the business. And then there's the other And final, when you get to a large organization and you've got departments, and departments start to create silos, right? So the integration and the teamwork starts to disappear because everybody's concerned about their department.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you fix those things? Well, first, if you're that entrepreneur driving to work and you're getting frustrated, or you hit the wall and you're trying to get over it, or you're trying to integrate teamwork, you have to ask the question, why are you frustrated?
Mm-hmm.
What's driving that? And really, that's a big picture, because you're being prevented to go to where you want to go. So the first step is really to ask the question, why? What's my vision? What's my mission? Where am I going? What's my purpose? What are my goals?
Mm-hmm.
Are these all aligning? And then the next step is, are my processes, the things that I'm asking my employees to follow, are they working? Are they good? Am I adhering to all the regulations?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is your people. And if you give them that role, can they execute that role, or do they have to always ask questions? Right? Is the process helping or hindering?
Mm-hmm.
And then the final part is the teamwork. Are my people who are doing work by themselves integrated, connected? So those are the four things. So you're looking at, what's my big question? Why? What are my processes?
Mm-hmm.
And then what about the people who are actually doing the work, and how are they working together as a team?
Right.
Those are the four key areas that are preventing. So when you take a step back and you're now on the sideline, maybe you're driving home,
Mm-hmm.
you take that time to reflect on what's happening. And then you come up with ideas. And those ideas you have to formulate to see if they're going to fit within the organization. And then when you get in there, it depends on what level the organization is at. If you're a startup, small, it's on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
You got to try and adapt on the fly. Whereas with larger organizations, you have an opportunity to sit aside and really formulate your ideas, right? You've got your teams, your people that you're going to sit down and have conversations with. Does this make sense? And they may have ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now you're creating this idea. And then it's a matter of turning that into a plan, and then executing on that plan and holding accountability.
Absolutely. That's a great overview, Jeff. And now I'm curious to hear how this translates to practical application. Jeff, how does working as one help entrepreneurs implement these strategies in their daily operations?
Working as one, like, we offer a number of services, but the three that I'll touch on address the things that we just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
So one is meeting management. The other one is ideas management. And the third one is talent management. So what we do is in the meetings is, how do you conduct meetings that are productive? So if everyone in the meeting is responsible for certain things, they come in, they report on that, and they say, these are my successes. The last 7 days, this is what I did. These are the things I'm going to do for the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets approved. It gets documented. Those become the to-do.
Right.
And you just go around the room, right? So you're always checking in, making sure that everybody's okay, that things are happening as they should. If somebody's struggling, the team should rally around that person and say, let's get you through this logjam. Because, obviously, if you fail, we're all going to fail. So let's help you out,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's the premise of the meetings. Now, when we do the meetings, we drive in what we call healthy conflict.
Right.
So that healthy conflict is what spurs on ideas,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the entire room, all the people within that room are responsible for the success of the team. And that means the manager that's across from me, the manager that's to the side of me, everybody in that room, we all work together to achieve the goal. So in that, we get ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we manage ideas from cradle to grave.
Right.
So look at, does it fit? Does it fit in our vision, mission, values? How does it fit into our processes? How about our people? How about our teamwork?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That gets approved. It goes, it turns into a project that follows through. So again, that's from cradle to grave that we follow. They get managed through meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Then the talent management is where we look at the core values.
Right.
We want to make sure that the core values are present and at the forefront, because that's how relationships are managed.
Mm-hmm.
If I understand the type of behaviors that you're going to show, I'm more confident and trusting. And the only way that that works is if we understand the relationship and what's expected and the delivery method.
Mm-hmm.
So core values becomes the conflict resolution. That's how we maintain healthy conflict.
Right.
Right. So now we've got the meetings where everything gets brought in. It kind of gets allocated, gets approved for the next step, and off you go. And then we have the ideas that we trap, which become the next iteration of projects. And then we have the people to make sure that they're working as a team,
Mm-hmm.
all towards the common goal.
Right.
So that's what working as one does. So basically what we're doing is we're taking from the board all the way down to the producers. We're making sure that that aligns.
This is great. I mean, you really highlighted the critical connection between strategy, between teamwork, and productivity. And for our listeners, remember that, aligning these elements is key to controlling your business destiny and achieving long-term success. Now, achieving that success often involves a shift for entrepreneurs. And instead of handling every task, they need to become effective leaders. Listeners, are you working in your business or on it? Jeff's insights highlight the importance of strategic planning and effective communication. Take a moment to reflect on your own business practices. Are you setting aside time to work on your long-term vision and strategy? Because remember, the most successful entrepreneurs are those who can balance day-to-day operations with strategic planning. So stay tuned for more valuable insights on becoming an exceptional business leader. Now, Jeff, let's explore that transition from entrepreneur to a business leader, which is a critical step in scaling a company. In Canada alone, many entrepreneurs, they're at the cusp of this transition, leading teams of less than 10 employees. Jeff, why do entrepreneurs often struggle in becoming effective business leaders?
Well, that's a great number. 10 is a great number.
Mm-hmm.
Processes are really not all that necessary at that stage because you're working so closely to the leader, right? Provided that the leader models the behaviors and the experiences,
Mm-hmm.
right? The unit stays together. So as you grow, though, the delegation is fundamental. This is where I think if there's anything that comes out of it, this is key. Is that when I hire somebody, I get CVs, I look at those CVs, I look at the job that I'm asking them to do,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an alignment. So I get a series of people, I say, okay, I want to interview these people. I'm going at great length to make sure I hire the right person.
Right.
Then I hire that person. Then that person starts to work.
Mm-hmm.
Then that person comes to me and says, hey, Jeff, how do I do this?
Right.
And the entrepreneur goes, do this, this, and this. They go off and they do all those things and they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
And now the other people, the 10 people, are doing the same thing. And when you start to grow, all of a sudden, all those questions that are coming to you become overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
You hit what I call cognitive capacity.
Right.
You can't hold all those transactions in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you hit that wall. So remember, I was talking about you work real hard and you get to here and you come back down. You basically burn out because you're taking the burden of everybody that's working for you
Mm-hmm.
and making decisions for them. If they are subject matter experts, you hire them for that goal. And then what you have to do is when that employee comes to you and they say, I've got this problem, you can say, okay, well, first of all, what's the goal? What are you trying to achieve? What's your reality? What are all of the things that you've tried? What are some of the options that you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ask, do you want some advice from me?
Right.
And if they say yes, you say, okay, here are some options for you to consider. And at the end of it, you just say to them, which one do you prefer most?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, I want to do this one. And you
Right.
go, okay, on a scale of 1 through 10, 10 being an absolute and 1 being a no-go, what's the likelihood of you achieving this?
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything under a 7, you got to go back, reevaluate the goal, reevaluate, what the reality is and what the options are until you get above a 7. I know this takes time, but you're teaching them how to make decisions that are the way you make decisions. You're being that mentor that's holding them along, because once that person is there and they can start to handle problems and issues quickly, the organization starts to work at the speed of thought.
Right.
And that's ultimately what you're trying to achieve. It's like on a playing field.
Mm-hmm.
People are asked to make decisions right there and do it. Right, wrong. If there's an epic failure, the most important thing is, are they learning?
Right.
If they're repeating the problem, you've got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're learning and moving ahead, then you're moving ahead. You're growing, because the intellectual property that you have in your people is growing. They're maturing. Right? They're becoming better employees.
That's a very important point, Jeff. It seems many entrepreneurs, they struggle with letting go. But how does the I4C success model address these challenges and help entrepreneurs become better delegators and leaders?
Well, the I4C success, my whole intention with this was to provide structure.
Mm-hmm.
Structure in terms of decision making. So the I4C success represents communication, capacity, capability, and connection.
Right.
So in communication, there's 2 things you have to take into consideration. First one is inspire. Is my vision, mission, values, and beliefs inspiring people?
Right.
Right. So again, you get some idea that comes to you. The first step is, how does this apply to my vision, mission, values?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The next step is motive. So I've got to convert that into, let's say, purpose,
Right.
a goal, some behaviors or some experiences, something that's tangible for people to achieve. Once you have that, you can go now into capacity. And capacity first looks at organize all of the things that you have, your processes, your policies, your system, your compensation, all of those legal structures that you have. You need to look at all of those things, depending on the idea, of course.
Right.
But once you've analyzed all that, how that idea is going to impact,
Mm-hmm.
you can now get to the planning phase. Right? So now you map out the proper path to get to where you want to go. You've got that. Next is you go into the capability section. And in that, the 2 are, you empower people. You say, hey, I'm tasking you with this, right? I think that you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, what would happen is that they would be part of the planning process. So they would know that they're going to be included in this. And then they get empowered. And then the next step is adapt.
Right.
So they're going to hit some things that they didn't know. You have a plan because this is an idea that's never been done before, not implemented. It's something foreign, it's new.
Right.
So there's going to be some mistakes that are going to occur. It's how adaptable are the people that you've assigned that task to. And perhaps that's where they need some help. They just need to overcome stuff. And then you get into the unite phase. So you go into the connection phase.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the unite. So how do we bring everybody together?
Right.
And that's through accountability. So you've got the processes, you've empowered people. Now the results and outcome of that interaction is that living well with the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And, so you have the accountability part is very important to be done there, not at the end of a process.
Right. Definitely.
And then the final one is to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've done all those things and you've united and you've achieved the goal, you grow,
Right.
right? You increase your value, you increase the value of the business.
No, delegation, there's no doubt that it clearly is a crucial skill for many entrepreneurs to master. And by effectively empowering their teams, business owners, they can free themselves to really focus on the strategic leadership and drive their companies forward. Now, as companies grow, Jeff, they inevitably encounter roadblocks. So let's shift gears and discuss some of the common obstacles to business growth, because as business grows, they face these obstacles, and understanding these challenges is the first step to overcoming them and achieving long-term sustainability, which can be particularly difficult in the competitive Canadian market. Stay tuned, everyone. When we return, our expert Jeff will discuss the critical topics of maximizing business value. You won't want to miss his insights on connecting leading and lagging indicators for sustainable growth.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. Still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, we're in the business of you.
We're here to help you plug in,
Connect and recharge.
make an impression,
and meet with confidence.
With 19 brands built for business,
your business gets even more rewarding.
With an award-winning loyalty program at 6,000 IHG hotels and resorts worldwide.
Welcome back, everyone. Jeff is here to discuss how to build high-performing teams and drive business success. So let's jump right back in. Jeff, what are some common organizational obstacles to business growth, and how can entrepreneurs address them?
Well, one of the key things is structure, is putting structure in place. And the reason why you need structure, and I'm talking processes, I'm talking org charts, I'm talking job descriptions. You want proper alignment. You want to be able to assign accountability, and so that it has a spot. Without that, it becomes very difficult to isolate on problems.
Right.
And so, and again, in the meetings that I mentioned, if you do your 7 days past, 7 days forward, you identify the small little issues, you fix those. Because oftentimes when we get to the small little things, we're programmed to fix big things. We want to get all these big, huge things, but focus in on the small things, react to them, fix them all the time. Because the problem that you will have is if you do not fix those small problems, they will start to compound, right? And then they'll start to meander over into different departments.
Right.
And before you know it, you've got this big problem and you don't know the root cause of it. By fixing these small little problems, you fix big problems, right? Big problems shouldn't occur. And it's like in training. So when, like, I'm a dragon boat racer and I have lots of fun in that, but in my training, it's all incremental. Like, I'm not looking at the end for, oh, you know what, I'm going to get into the boat and all of a sudden I'm going to be 10 seconds faster.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, right? It's incremental gains. It's these small little problems that I fix along the way that improve my paddling. And it's the same thing in business. It's same thing with designing a great organization. Deal with the small little incremental issues and you'll have a great business.
Absolutely. These insights there and these observations are great. And it's clear that structure and empowerment, they are essential for navigating the obstacles that businesses encounter as they grow.
Mhm.
And moving on for our next topic, we know that navigating those obstacles successfully, they can lead to significant gains. Let's talk about now how entrepreneurs can maximize their business value, because maximizing business value is a key goal for all the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And as businesses scale, their potential for value creation increases, contributing to both their own success and the overall economy. Jeff, how can entrepreneurs effectively maximize their business value?
Well, I think one of the things is you have to know what the end goal. So again, we'll go back to the first, vision, mission, values. What is it that you're trying to create?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're going to be unique. So there might be a number of electrical contractors that are doing whatever, but the way that you deliver service is unique. And is that uniqueness valuable? Is it more valuable than the person beside you? It's like buying a house. There's, 3 houses, they all look the same, but one has been well maintained, the other one's not so much. Which one's going to be more valuable?
Right.
Right. So in this, the business valuation, I'm not a chartered business valuator, but the simplest form is profit multiplied by goodwill. Profit is a function of productivity.
Mm-hmm.
So the more productive I am, the more profit I retain. Goodwill is how you work together as a team delivering that productivity.
Right.
Right. So that's where we go to the I4C success model.
Mm-hmm.
This is the model. This is how you improve your business. And the I4C success is a decision making. It's how to make decisions within the context of business or any teams actually. And it's all like it's infinity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going through grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. You have to just recognize what level you're at and play at that level, and you will naturally grow and grow and grow. And by doing that, you improve productivity and you increase the goodwill value. Right? Now, important in this equation is that goodwill is the multiplier
Mm-hmm.
of profit. So what does that look like, or what is the meaning of that? So think about it this way. You're an entrepreneur, you create a business, and they take you out of the equation and your business fails.
Right.
Well, the goodwill value, even if you made $10,000, $100,000, million, $10 million a profit, but the business is nothing without you,
Mm-hmm.
then the business is worth nothing.
Correct.
So if you've got subject matter experts that you've been developing all along, it's not dependent on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's the group, it's the team, it's your business. So if you step out, the business is going to continue growing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's appealing. So let's say it's going to be 4, 5, 6 years down the road, multipliers of 4, 5, 6. Right? That makes it appealing.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. I mean, you've provided such essential insights for entrepreneurs that are looking to scale their businesses and create sustainable value. And it's a reminder to all of us that maximizing value involves more than just profit. It's really about building a thriving organization. Listeners, the wisdom shared today by Jeff is a gold mine for any entrepreneur looking to scale their business. Please remember that maximizing business value isn't just about increasing profits. It's about creating a sustainable, well-structured organization that can thrive in the long term. So take these insights and apply them to your own business, and consider that how you can improve your communication, delegation, and strategic planning. The path to becoming an exceptional business leader starts with small, consistent steps. So keep pushing forward and don't hesitate to seek guidance when needed. Your business's potential is limitless. And in today's landscape, technology plays a pivotal role in building that thriving organization. Jeb, with your expertise in IT solutions, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how small businesses they can leverage tech. Because in today's digital age, tech is essential for business growth and efficiency. And small businesses across Canada, they're increasingly adopting digital tools to enhance their operations. So, Jeff, given your experience in the industry, how can small businesses effectively leverage tech to enhance their operations and drive growth?
Well, there's so much technology, especially coming out of COVID. Like the way to communicate more effectively, quicker. I think that's a real key. So how fast can I get information to you so that you can do your job?
Right.
Right. How fast can you send the information back to me so that I can make sure that everybody around me is getting that same information? So the world has really been compressed, and the acceleration of information accelerated. So anything that accelerates decision making, right? But you have to keep the team together. So let's say hybrid workplaces or remote work. My beliefs on that is it's like sports. Like you come together for the game, come together for practice, but you do all sorts of work outside of that.
Right.
Always focused in on what the end goal is, and that's for you to be successful on the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
So in remote work, I see that the same way. You know, you're at home, you're working hard, you're doing the things that are required. So my belief on that is that if you use core values to monitor that, so when I'm working and there's upstream and downstream, so I'm creating information for this person and I'm receiving information from the person under me.
Right.
So if I'm using core values, and again, that's relationships. Do I want this person on my team? Are they conforming to the way that we work? If I monitor the person in the middle and ask the person above and below whether they are living the core values,
Mm-hmm.
and are they delivering the quality work that we need?
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're delivering the quality work and they're living the core values, my brand is strong. They are committed, right? And so I think that's like leveraging technology to accelerate work, productive work, I think is really important. And on that note too, like especially for some of the smaller businesses, for technologies, so you look at ERP system, MRP systems, that's all to look after money. Like it manages the hard cash of a business. So in an MRP system, what it does is that it's a measurement tool.
Mm-hmm.
It measures how productive one is. So key to small organizations when they start is to start with a measure. Well, there's two ways you can start. You can start with a process, implement a process, or you can start with a measurement.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the measurement.
Right.
So think of it like sales forecasting.
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, what do you expect to sell in the next week?
Right.
Once they become proficient at that, what do you see in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, until you can get to that annual forecast and feel fairly confident that that's going to be achieved because of all these small little incremental gains that you've made. And then when it becomes overwhelming in terms of administration, then you look at a software solution. You've got your process in place. When the CRM comes along, you just put it in.
Right.
Right. And it's a tool that helps you to be more productive.
Definitely. Thank you so much. You've painted such a clear picture on how tech can transform small businesses, from enhancing collaboration to streamlining operations and further driving growth. Now, as we wrap up our conversation today, Jeff, I want to first thank you for sharing your valuable insights. But before we let you go, what is that one final piece of advice that you'd like to give to our entrepreneurs who want to transform their businesses and become exceptional leaders?
Well, I think for me, because I'm a performance and it's people, treating your people like subject matter experts, like making them, empowering them to be who they can be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And allowing that to flourish. So that the end result is that the people that interact with your business, the people that are in your business, recommend you as a place or an employer of choice,
Mm-hmm.
right? That tells me that your brand is strong, that people trust you, and that your goodwill, the multiplier in the business valuation is really strong.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing your invaluable insights with us today. I mean, your expertise in teamwork, in leadership, and business growth is truly inspiring. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. Today, we explored working on your business, mastering delegation, overcoming obstacles, maximizing value, and leveraging tech with our guest, Jeff Kropman. We've learned that exceptional business leadership requires strategy, communication, and team empowerment. And Jeff's success model and his expertise offer valuable tools for scaling businesses and creating lasting value. Please remember the journey from entrepreneurship to business leaders is ongoing. Apply these insights to your own business and continue growing. We appreciate the support of our sponsors, RBC, UPS, IAG, and Google. For more resources and expert advice, visit CanadianSME.ca and subscribe to our podcast. Keep innovating and leading. This is Maheen signing off from the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast.